Okay, everyone, welcome to the first eNorth by Ross podcast. It's gonna be a shorter one. It's not gonna be a crazy long podcast. Mainly, I'm just gonna be talking about my article that I've written. That comes from small 2-minute blogs that I write on eNorthbyRoss.com. So I would encourage you to head over there, check it out, see if it's something you're interested in, and maybe join our community. So in today's episode, it's going to be broken up into 4 different sections. So I'm going to talk about passive learning, the art of showing up, volume 1 and volume 2, and if you don't quit, you won't fail. So passive learning is one of the most effective ways to consume knowledge. This means that you are consuming information while also performing other tasks. The best example that I can come up with is instead of listening to music at work uh, or in the car, try listening to an audiobook or podcast instead, something that's informative. The Some of the best podcasts I've listened to recently is The Diary of a CEO. I think it's one of the top rated podcasts in the world right now. And there's also Modern Wisdom. Those are probably my favorites right now for just for general knowledge, which I am fortunate enough I can listen to that at work. Being able to continually learn new information throughout the day is a very powerful tool that I think can give you a huge advantage against everyone else. Because most people stop learning entirely after high school. And I believe this is where most downfalls begin. And passive learning has other advantages too. So while listening to a podcast or audiobook, it can often put you into a flow state where you where you can perform tasks almost effortlessly because your brain is focused on listening. I personally find that when I do this, time goes by a lot faster. So if you're doing a really boring job or you're in a really long car ride, put on a audiobook, put on a podcast, and it will probably feel a lot faster. The more knowledge you can consume in a passive manner, the better off you're going to be, and the greater advantage you will have against everyone else. The art of showing up is doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like it, which is also known as discipline, which everybody knows by now. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and sometimes discipline can fail us, which I think is completely okay. What I'm arguing is the main factor that is going to contribute to your success is not discipline, it's not motivation, and it's not passion. It is showing up day after day, which is also known as consistency. But don't get this confused. This does not mean that each day you show up, you are going to be giving the same amount of effort. Because again, we're human. We can't always put in 110% effort. And some people might claim that. I simply just don't believe that's true. Even though we'd like to. In reality, your effort to a certain task will be up and down. And yes, effort is very important for achieving success in many areas, but showing up must always come before effort. Meaning that showing up and giving 1% effort is better than not showing up and then taking a couple days off and then giving 100% effort again. For example, let's say you're tired and you don't feel like going to the gym. I think you should go to the gym, lay down, and have a nap. I think this is 100% more effective than doing the same thing at your home because you are still building yourself and building your habits and your character into someone that shows up even on the bad days. In The Art of Showing Up Volume 2, I talk about a real life example that I experienced. So a couple days ago, I was experiencing some back pain in my lat. Despite this, I still went to the gym, and knowing that I probably wouldn't be giving 110% effort. The important thing is I showed up to the gym on a bad day, which helps to reinforce and build good habits. Showing up on the days when you're tired, in pain, or you just don't want to are the most important days to show up. With this being said, though, and I got a comment on one of my YouTube reels about this, everything needs to be done in moderation. So, yes, of course, if you have a broken leg right now, do not go to the gym. That would just be silly and pointless. You're just gonna end up hurting yourself. What you do need to do is take a few moments to reflect and really reflect on how you were feeling right now. I believe that if you are truly honest with yourself, you can go to the gym, you can perform that task. You just either don't want to, you're tired, you're unmotivated, or slightly in pain, like I was a couple days ago. What I'm saying is, despite these things, you need to get up and you need to do it anyway. The art of showing up is doing the thing that needs to be done when you don't want to do it. And I hope that this example helps. If you don't quit, you won't fail. This is a concept that's been in the back of my mind for quite some time now, and I feel like it's not talked about often enough. So, how I picture it is there are only so many attempts you can take at something before you succeed, and the more that you fail, the closer you get to actually succeeding. So, for example, let's say you want to get into med school, and your path has been decided by some higher power that it's going to take you 4 attempts to get into med school. Keep in mind you don't know this, but just for example. Now, each time you attempt to get into med school and fail, you are essentially knocking these attempts out of the way, bringing you closer to entering med school. If you were to quit, then you would bring the process of removing the attempts to success to a grinding halt, leading to absolute failure. When we look at things from this perspective, absolute failure is not possible if we just don't quit. Each attempt and failure is simply bringing us closer to finally achieving what we want. And I believe that this helps to reinforce the importance of failing and its positive nature. So the more I think about these ideas, the more I realize they all relate to one conclusion. Keep learning, keep showing up, keep failing, but just don't quit. And if you do these 4 things long enough, you'll become someone capable of achieving far more than you ever thought possible. So that's the 4 sections of this podcast. I just want to encourage you to, again, head over to enorthbyross.com. Check out what we got over there. There's tons of free information that I think will be really useful for you. Again, the podcasts that I reference the blogs that I reference from this podcast are all on enorthbyross.com. And also check out our community. It doesn't hurt to head over there, see if it's something for you. And if it is, great. If it's not, awesome. But just give it a look through, check it out, see if you like it. But yeah, that's going to be it for episode number 1. I got big plans for this podcast. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a super frequent posting podcast. But whenever I write my blogs and whenever I write my stories, I'll compile them and then I'll make a podcast. Just kind of summarizing it. Which also makes it helpful that if people don't like to read, you can listen instead, which, like I said, audiobooks and podcasts, they're pretty helpful for learning. But yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate if you made it this far. Thank you for listening. It's the first one, so I don't expect it to be that good. I'm sure I'll learn lots about how this all works and how to be better at it. But for the first one, it's probably gonna suck, but that's okay. It's part of it. Anyways, I appreciate everyone listening. Thank you.